Hi, Joanne. Happy Thursday. Hope you're hanging in there. Little cooler today. I appreciated that a little bit. All right, it is 3:01, so we're a little behind. Hi, Lisa. Hello and welcome. Okay. Let's see. Hello and happy Thursday. This is Barbara Reed. I'm the Wexford Stamper, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today we are going to be continuing with our back to school series. On Tuesday, we made this cute little gift box that holds a hand sanitizer. And if you want the directions for that, they will be on my blog by the end of the week, or you can check out my YouTube channel. The video is already there. So thank you for joining me today. Today we are going to use a couple of other sets. And what I like about the sets that I've chosen is that one of them is a oldie but goodie. And that is this one here. This one is in the new catalog, but for my Stampin' friends that have been around for a while, they know that this one is brought back from the last catalog. This is the Harvest Hellos and the Apple Punch. So we're going to be using this one today, and we're going to be making a special gift for a teacher. And here is this one. This is what we're going to be making today. It is a caramel apple cowtail. And we're going to give that to a A+ teacher. The poor teachers this year, they need so much support and understanding. It's very difficult time. So some of my teacher friends are going to get some of these. So I just thought they were really a cute little gift that you can whip up really, really quickly. Not a whole lot to them. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on that one. All right, let's bring out all our stuff here. All right, we're going to start with our piece of designer series paper. Now, the paper we're using is 4.5 by 8 inches. And this paper is from the In Good Taste suite. And this is a fabulous set to have because, a pack, has lots of different kind of neutral textures. From tile to spackle or whatever that is. And then there's woods of all different colors. And then there's some fabric types of, so these are great papers to have as your backgrounds in cards or for any type of craft you might be making. So take a look at that when you're looking in the catalog, the In Good Taste, and you get a lot of paper. That is an extra big pack they give you. But for this one, I chose the wood. All right, and again, this piece is cut at 4.5 by 8. I'm going to grab my Simply Scored board, bring it up here. This is such a simple design because it is a little pouch. Okay, it's not even a box, it's a little pouch. So it's really simple to make. You can whip these out very quickly. All right, let me find my scoring tool. Here we go. All right, we're on the short side first. And here we are going to score at 2 and 4. That's it. 2 and 4. Okay, and then we're going to turn it on the long side and we're going to score at 1/2. And that's it, folks. You have done all the scoring you need for this project. Very simple. All right, first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to crease all my score lines. And I can't find my bone folder, so we'll use my bone fingers. And this is what we have. Now, let me show you a template to give you an idea what we're looking at. Okay? We're going to be creating this template using our designer series paper. Okay? So we're going to start here, and we're going to... Sorry, I had to go get my scissors. Can't believe I don't have my scissors. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look here. This is the long, skinny rectangle on this side. And then you'll notice it's a little hard to see because of the paper, but there's a tiny little square at the bottom. I'm going to cut that out, totally out. Okay, and then I'm going to just do a little snip at the end. So when we fold it together, they won't be caught together on the edge there. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay. Then I'm going to go up here to the top and do that same little snip here. Just angle it a little bit so we don't have it right up against the fold there when we put it all together. The paper, Joanne, is 4.5 by 8, and I'll have all this information on my blog by the weekend. Yep, 4.5 by 8. And then you score at 2 and 4, and then on the long side at 1/2. All right, now we're going to go over to this other rectangle over here. You're going to notice there's 2 flaps down here. Okay, this one we're going to cut completely off. All right, and then this one here, I'm going to do a little bit of a snip again. So there we go. The bottom is done. Now we only have one more thing to do, and it's make the little rounded opening. Now let me find my finished one. Where is my, oh here, nope. Oh, here he is. I'm having trouble finding my finished. Here, if you look here at the top, it's a rounded front edge, and I just thought that was kind of nice and a nice, pretty way to open it there. So what I did is took my 2-inch circle punch, and this is a 2-inch panel. Okay, so I just want to cut the circle out of the 2-inch panel. Okay, so you want to be careful when you're bringing in your circle that you're keeping your cut within those 2-inch panel. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I punched it out like that. Okay, so then when I close it, there I have that. Now I didn't do as well. Let me see if I can punch it again a little bit here, because I want to get it all the way over from one end to the other. Here, there, that's better. Okay, because you want to try and cut it so that the circle goes from one edge to the other edge. Okay, so that's what we needed our circle punch for. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and put it together. It's all done with the cutting and punching. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put some adhesive down that small thin rectangle that we cut into a flap, and I'm going to go ahead and use my Seal Plus. Okay, then I'm going to fold it over and just bring the other side of the pouch over and rub that really well. Okay, so there is my pouch. Now I'm going to bring up this bottom flap, just a little bit of that along the bottom of the Seal Plus, bring it up and push it down, and there you have your pouch. Very easy to adjust the size a little bit if you need it a little taller, if you need it a little smaller. It's a real easy design. So there we go. We have our pouch all finished. Now we're going to go ahead and make the embellishments for the front. And let me take a look at this. This is what we have here. I'm going to bring in a few things. All right, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in a stamp from my Harvest Hello set. Okay, and it's going to be the apple stamp. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp on my white paper my little apple piece. Okay, I'm going to put that away. Now I'm going to grab my blends, and I'm going to first use my Real Red to color around the edge of the I'm just going to color this in because this is the skin of the apple. So there's a full-size apple in the stamp set, and then there's this little apple wedge. So I went with the wedge today. Okay, and then I'm going to take my black blend and fill in the little seed. And then to make it a little less white, because we know the inside, excuse me, of an apple isn't perfectly white, I'm going to use ivory. Okay, and this is a standalone blend that's used mostly for flesh colors and things like that when you're making, maybe coloring people. But I found it to be a really nice choice for the inside of the apple. It just gives it a little more of a realistic look. We know our apples aren't perfectly white. So this gives it more of a beige or ivory tint. So there is my apple. Okay, now let's bring in that great apple punch. Okay, and if you remember, this apple punch goes with the set, and it will cut out the pumpkin as well. So it's a great set for back to school, into Halloween, into Thanksgiving. So it's a good one to have around. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And even though it's just a half of an apple, it fits inside the punch. So you're going to have to take a little snip of that off because it's not quite fitting in there as I like. There we go. And you're really just lining up half the apple, and you're going to punch that out. And then you just take your scissors and you cut this other half off, and there is your apple piece. All right, now I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of cardstock. This is a Real Red scallop circle. And now I'm going to grab my 2-inch circle punch again. This is a favorite of mine. You guys all know that. And I'm going to cut out a 2-inch circle of the Granny Apple Green. I love the color Granny Apple Green. And when I saw these little cowtails, I thought, oh, I can make a perfect little pouch for these because I love that color. So it was perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the back of my 2-inch circle. Lay that right in there on my scallop. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my apple slice and a couple of dimensionals. And we're going to lean him up on the left-hand side of the circle. Okay, just like that. All right, now we're going to grab our piece of Whisper White that we're going to use to make our banner, and this piece is 2 inches by 3/4 inches. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp in the Real Red to an A+ teacher. And I know many, many A+ teachers out there that would be very deserving. All right, so here is that, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on my Whisper White. Okay, and now we're just about done. We're in the home stretch here. I'm going to grab my tailored label punch, my favorite banner making, and I'm going to cut off the end of that. That's just like that. All right, now we need one more thing, And we need a piece of this is Real Red Designer Series paper, and this is from Heartwarming Hugs, which is one of the new Designer Series paper and sweets in the mini catalog. And all I'm going to do is kind of wrap it around and squeeze down on the sides. I like to put my candy in there and then kind of get a really good feel for how big it needs to be. All right, then I'm going to just take it off. I'm going to put a little bit of my Stampin' Seal Plus on both sides. Then I'm going to wrap it around again. I want it a little low because we're going to put that pretty bow on the top. Okay, and there you have it. There is that. And now we're going to grab the apple. Now what you're going to notice is the pouch is a little bowed, okay? So it helps for your pieces to stay on if you kind of round them a little bit too. So when you put that on there with your dimensionals, they won't pull as much as if it was just flat. So think about that if you have something that's rounded, to go ahead and kind of round your embellishment that goes on top too. Then it won't be trying to pull itself off. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to put that right here on the front. There we go. Oh, now wait, I'm going to change that because I want it to be the position of the apple to be a little different. There we go. I like the apple when it's kind of leaning. All right, last thing we're going to do is we're going to put our little A+ teacher on the front. Again, I'm going to use some dimensionals and a little bit of glue on the left-hand side of the banner. All right, so here we go. And that goes right here. And there we go. What a cute little, oop, let me hold that down. I've got a little bit of glue there and I need to hold it for just a second. There we go. So there's the banner all done. Last thing we need to do, we're going to grab some of the gorgeous double stitch satin ribbon, of course, in the Real Red. Going to cut off a nice piece. And let's go ahead and hope we can get a nice looking ribbon and a bow today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tie it, start from behind, and then just come up the front. These would be super cute to make for Halloween. Your trick-or-treaters would love these. And the little pouches would not take long to make. So this could be something that you could use for lots and lots of different occasions. Because who doesn't like a cowtail? I mean, seriously. All right, so let's do a little floofing with our bow. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut off the ends of my bow. And there you have it. A second teacher gift. All right. So that's our first for today. All right. But we have another one, which is a very similar design. It is a pouch as well, but it is a different size. So let's go ahead and take these away. And we're going to go ahead and move on to this. Okay. This is the next project we're going to be working on. This is a cute little goldfish cracker holder. And when I got this paper, and this paper is from the Whale Done Suite, and the paper is amazing, amazing, amazing. And this moment I saw that paper, I thought of, this would be a great idea because many of the 6x6 pieces look like scenery in the ocean. So that I knew that would be a great one to choose, but there's so many cute prints in this Whale Done Suite. And that's that. And then there's another one on the back that's like a scene. Here is some cute little turtles swimming, and here's some coral, but they just really beautiful, beautiful images on this paper, and so bright. There's some squids, I guess. And then here's some more with like seaweed and stuff. But so, so pretty. I just love this paper. I thought it would be great for a child's gift. So that's why I decided to use it. And then I thought these little goldfish crackers would obviously be a great theme since this is ocean as well. But then I thought even the colors went together so well. So this was a project that kind of came together in a couple of stages, but I just think it's adorable. Hi, Jean. That's all right. You can go ahead and watch the beginning later. I will put it on YouTube. Just glad you could join. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on the goldfish cracker pouch. And just to let you know, I got the pouches at, let's see, I think I got them at Target. And it's a little box. They weren't very expensive. 20 packs for maybe $5. Very, very reasonably priced. But I just thought it was a really cute kind of back to school gift. So that's why we went with that. All right, so we're going to start with some, oh, what's the color of this? Crushed curry, geez, crushed curry paper. And this is cut at 10.5 by 10.5. Okay, now I'll show you something. I found the panel that I wanted to use to put on the front of the pouch, but the panel needs to be 5 by 4.5 inches. So this is a little too big. So what you have to do is kind of cut it down, and you want to be careful, you know, where you cut, because you want to have as many of the fish on it as you can. So here is the original 6 by 6 from the Designer Series paper pack. And here is it cut down to the 5 by 4.5. All right. So this is the size of the paper that you want to use on the front. But let's first make the pouch. You're going to notice that the design of this pouch is very much like the design of the pouch that we made for the cowtail. All right, back to directions again and dimensions. This was 10.5 by 5.5. Okay, and it is crushed curry. All right, on the long side, we are going to score at 2.5 and 7.5. And then we're going to turn it on the short side, and we're going to do 1/2. Okay, so that's very, very similar to our other pouch. You only really need 3 score lines to make it. Whoops, which is kind of nice. All right, we're going to go ahead and fold on all our score lines. Can't find my bone folder. It is hidden in my giant mess on my desk, but we'll just go with the fingers today. All right, now we're going to grab the scissors. And let me grab my template. And this is what we're going for. All right. So we're really not going to do that much cutting. We're just going to be focusing along that thin 1/2 inch strip. And we're going to take away all of it except the center. Okay. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wedge that one a little bit. And then cut this completely off. And you want to cut above the score line so that everything fits in well when we go ahead and put it together. All right, let's do the same over here. We're going to cut the little wedge. And then cut just above the score line. And there we go. Pretty simple, huh? That's kind of the basic design of any kind of pouch. And you can just kind of alter the size, and you should have no trouble making all different kinds of pouches. All right, so let's go ahead and keep moving. Right, first thing we want to do is go ahead and put our piece of Designer Series paper on the front. And that is this one. And the way I measured it is it's going to go from one end to the other and then of the front width-wise. But then I left a little bit of a margin top and bottom. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my Stampin' Seal Plus. Got to get that name right too. But I am getting the hang of it and I am liking it because this stuff is as strong as the tear and tape, and it's a lot quicker and easier to dispense once you get the idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to add this to the front of the pouch. Remembering where it's going all the way to the ends, and then you're going to leave a little top and bottom there. Okay, now we're going to turn it over and we're going to close up the back. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of my Stampin' Seal Plus along the back. Close that up. You can also glue, you can also use tear and tape. And then I'm going to put a little along the bottom here. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to just fold that all up. Pouches are very, very simple to make. That's what's nice about making pouches. All right, let's grab a cracker pouch and see how that's looking. Goes right in there. So we're ready to roll with that. All right, let's go ahead and make our front little embellishment. And I'm going to bring back one of my samples and let's just see what we used for that. Now I've used a couple of different things, so I want to show you that it's very versatile. You can kind of use whatever you want, but I use these two labels, and these are from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. These have gotten a lot of use in my craft room, that's for sure. I like the Stitch So Sweetly. Okay, so we're going to use these two. All right, and then I cut out, using the sunflower set, these little sprigs, and I'm going to kind of use these for my seaweed. Okay, I use something different here. I use something from the Forever Fern suite, but anything will work. Look and see what kind of dies you have, and those would be able to work if they look anything like seaweed. All right, so those are the things we're going to make, and the next thing we want to do is do our stamping. Okay, we have one label that we need to stamp, and then we need to stamp our whale. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and do our sentiment first. I'm going to use the Pacific Point color, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp whale done right in the middle of my label here. So cute. There we go. And there's that. And I'm going to grab my, while I see it out of the corner of my eye, my tailored label punch, and punch out each of the sides of the label. So cute. All right, that is ready to go now. So let's go ahead and stamp our whale now. Okay, we'll bring in our whale. I'm looking around for my whale punch and I don't see it. Where did I put my whale punch? All right, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my whale right there. And now I can't find my whale punch. Let's see. I just picked it up from Dory's today and I'm not sure where I put it. So we are just going to pretend and do a little fussy cutting. Oh dear. Okay, so there is a whale punch that goes with this, believe me, but today it is buried probably somewhere beside my bone folder. And I just can't find it. I try to be all organized and have everything around me, but sometimes it doesn't work. But you guys know, we can always make it work. That's how we roll around here. All right, so I fussy cut and I'll probably find it right now since I fussy cut it out. All right, so let's put away that and let's go ahead and bring in all our pieces to make our embellishment on the front. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adhere the smaller label to the larger label. This is Crushed Curry and this is Calypso Coral. Okay, now I'm going to grab some of these little twigs, not twigs, stems, whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and put those there to kind of be behind the little, I'm going to just put down some adhesive there, and these are just going to be behind the little whale to kind of act as seaweed. Put a few of these on the back. Let's see, like that. And these I cut out. These were die cut from the sunflower set, but there's many, many die sets that have little sprigs that you could use. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals, and I'm going to put my whale right on the top. Yeah, I really thought this was a cute idea. And kids love, for some reason, it's just something over the generations. Kids love those goldfish crackers. My girls are older and they still love them and eat them. It's just something about them. They're just extra yummy. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and put my little whale on there. And then the last part, I'm going to go ahead and put my whale done right underneath. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of him as well, and I'm going to kind of tuck it up under him a little bit, and his fin will be right on top of the banner, and that says whale done. And then I took some of the beautiful, beautiful cinnamon cider. No, this isn't cinnamon cider. This is crushed curry gingham ribbon, and I'm going to put that at the bottom, but I'm going to wait until I get it on my pouch. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to add it to the pouch right here, and I just hit it with lots and lots of dimensionals just to hold it on so it won't be falling off if it gets stuck in somebody's backpack or something. This would also be great for trick or treat. Obviously, well, you could leave it with this theme, but there's some beautiful and fun Halloween paper in the catalog as well that would be super fun to use. But you make the pouch, and you can put in all the fun size bags of all the different types of crackers, and cookies would work. So there, that's better. He was standing up a bit. All right, there we go. Final thing for this is our beautiful gingham ribbon, and we're going to grab onto the glue dots. Stick it right onto the glue dot there using my pick tool and put that right underneath. So there we go, whale done. Last thing, okay? If you notice here on my sample, I have a little tab that they can pull it out with. Okay, so let me show you how I made that. I cut out a label, and this one might look familiar. This one is from the Pretty Labels, okay? But you can use anything that you have that looks like a label. You can just cut out a rectangle. And then I also cut out a cute little heart, and this is from the Valentine's dies, the Stitched Be Mine. Love these. I love the more primitive kind of shaped heart. All right, so what I did is I just folded this in half. And then I took my little heart and I adhered that right to the front of the tab, like that. And then I went up here on the top of the bag and I let the tab hang off a little bit, and I used a stapler, just because that's really going to hold it on well, and I found that to hold better than anything else. So I'll just staple it down just like that, and then that gets tucked right into the bag, the pouch, and then the recipient will know just where to pull it out. So that is the whale goldfish cracker pouch. So those are my back to school ideas. Okay, we had the cowtail, and then yesterday, but Tuesday, we had the hand sanitizer box. So those are the projects for back to school. You can always message me if you have any questions about it. I will have all the information, including the videos and the dimensions, on my blog by the weekend. So check out there. We still have a little while until school starts. I understand Central has moved it off a little bit, so there's still time to make those great back to school gifts. Next week, I was going to start Halloween, but I had lots of friends that really liked my new slimline design cards. And I wanted to show you those. I actually have a wedding I'm going to on Saturday, and my husband asked me to make a card. And I have been seeing the slimline design cards on Pinterest everywhere. So I did a little bit of research, and there are a lot of different slimline cards, but this is the size that seems to be the most used. But you make the envelope out of a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and then here is my card. This one I used the sunflower set. Used a little bit of glitter paper there. So next week we're going to focus a little bit on some slimline cards and teaching you how to make the envelopes and the cards themselves. So here's one. We're going to make this one on Tuesday. And then of course I had to use the beautiful Snowflake Splendor paper from that suite. And I made the envelope using that. We'd hold it this way with the... And then here is this card I made using the snowflakes and a little bit of the glimmer paper. So I will show you next week on Thursday how I made this beautiful card. But I'm kind of getting a little addicted to these slimline cards. So we'll see what I can come up with. Next week I'll show you some more samples, and then I will post all this stuff on my blog. But join me next week. We will have a special slimline card series. How's that sound? Pretty fancy, huh? So we will be working on these cards next week. So thanks so much for joining today, and I hope you enjoyed the projects today. And look forward to seeing you next week for our slimline cards. So have a wonderful weekend and keep on stamping.